Hey guys, it's me, Zainab. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're gonna pretend like we didn't all just cringe at that. Anyway, welcome back. It's me, Zainab. We're gonna get into a topic today about exposure. Let's get straight into it. Let's go. So I used to live in the state of Maryland, but now I live in the good old state of Texas. Put insert eagle and American anthem flying here. Anyway, so I live in Texas now, and one of the things I just want to tell you is exposure really does a different thing to your mind for real. Let me explain what I mean. So when I was like younger or a couple years ago, I used to watch house tours and stuff like that. You see this $1 million homes, 10 million, 25 million. I know there's some of y'all here that you see a house for 50 million, you're like, nah, it's too small, it's not worth the money, even though you don't even have like 10,000 in your account. But it's okay, I'm not judging you. People do that sometimes, it's all right. Anyway, and I will see those videos and I'm like, dang, those houses look good. But you only have like a certain perspective to the houses because you aren't there in person. So in your mind, you can have the desire for that house, but it's kind of still far. It's kind of a vague desire because you yourself have never been there. So I come to good old Texas and I'm able to now drive to places that have communities, neighborhoods, estates. Can you imagine estates for my African folks? Estates. You have full-on neighborhoods and communities that have $1 million in the tens of millions of homes, and you see that people actually live normal lives here. It makes you realize that, yo, this thing's actually achievable. What am I trying to explain by this, right? I had that desire that, hey, I want to have a house like this or whatever in the future, etc. But when you see people that are actually living these lifestyles, when you see people that actually have their family, they actually have their livelihood or whatever, and they're living in these neighborhoods, you see little kids, they got electric scooters of like thousands of dollars and they're just playing with it. Like, we didn't, some of us did not grow up like that. But anyway, it makes you realize that this thing is something that's actually achievable. A lot of times people look at the, like, should I say 1% or the 0.1% and whatnot, and they're like, no, those are people of a different lifestyle. These are people that were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, cut from a different cloth. We're not like them. They're not like us.
Wait a minute.
Yo. So they feel like they're different. They're a different lifestyle and whatnot. And when you actually expose yourself to these things, when you expose yourself to these, should I say, different way of living, different way of life, it makes you realize that these things are actually achievable and that the lifestyles that you want aren't actually as far off as they seem. I don't mean this just in the terms of money. For example, as of recent, I've been looking more into like a plant-based diets or just different types of diets, vegetarian, vegan, etc., whatever, because of all this nonsense that is just in meats or just in food in general, especially in America. It kind of seems a little bit difficult. It kind of seems like who can really attain this level of healthy lifestyle, who can eat this way, because who wants to be eating greens all the time? But when I see videos of people who actually live this lifestyle on a daily, when I'm exposed to even little kids growing up that way and even exposed to different recipes, different meals, different snacks, candies that are made with like healthy materials and even plant-based materials, it makes you realize, hey, this is actually achievable. So all in all, be it you exposing yourself to luxury things, the finer things of life, be it you exposing yourself to a healthier way of life, people who run on a daily basis, exercise on a daily basis, eat clean every day, even kids that, sometimes we hear that, hey, my kids have never tasted candy and they're fine. And you're like, how is that possible? My kids are always crying for candy, and if I don't give them candy, they're never going to stop crying and throwing tantrums. It's actually possible. And if you expose yourself to more of that information, if you expose yourself to more of that content or whatever, or people who are living those lives in person, you realize that the things that seem so far off from you aren't as far off as you think. It even goes in line with that scripture where the Lord is like, the expectations of their heart, the desires of their heart, I will grant them to them. Grant them to my people. Sometimes you don't realize that there are levels of life you actually can't get to if you haven't been exposed to it for you to get that desire for it. For example, I'm sure there are some people that do not realize that there are lounges in the airport. I, for one, didn't necessarily know that. I thought lounges were more so of a private airport thing. You go to a lounge and you're about to get on a jet or whatever. I knew there were some like places maybe for like luxury airlines like Qatar or Emirates or whatnot, but they're actually clubs for like different credit cards, clubs for different airlines, and I didn't know that. Now I can build a desire that, hey, I don't want to be sitting with where Billy Bob is coughing on me on the side or whatever. I can now have that desire that, hey, I want to work myself to that place where I don't got to be there. I can be in a club now. So if you actually want to upgrade in whatever area, expose yourself to that. Increase your exposure to that. Your mind begins to be transformed. Your heart begins to transform because you now have that desire. You can't say that you're motivated to be a millionaire or make money or build generational wealth for your family and your children or whatever, but you're not exposing yourself on a daily basis to what entrepreneurship is like, what people who are dealing with money are like, what it's like to live as a millionaire, what kind of houses, what kind of cars, what kind of lifestyle do they do, what's the discipline that they have. If you don't expose yourself to those things, there's a way that, I don't want to just say the universe, but even scripture talks about it. These things come to you. The desires of your heart, as per the will of God, they come to you as you build them. But if you don't expose yourself to them, they won't come. They can't come. Expose yourself, bro. Like, go out there. There's resources we got all over this place. Like, no one can say that they can't expose themselves in this day and age. If it be by the internet, if it be by social media, whatever you got to do, expose yourself. Go outside. Whatever habit you want to do, go connect with the people that are doing it as a daily lifestyle, and they're going to teach you the hacks that they have. Just expose yourself, man. Get the resources out there and do what you got to do. Have a good one. This was Zainab. Peace.